Yuki and John's Patreon buffet.
Okay, Yuki, so we're doing something today that you've suggested a while back, and we never got to it because we kept doing other topics, but today we're going to do a special movie that you want to talk about. So please, what are we talking about today?
Warriors.
That's right, the great Walter Hill's Warriors.
Yes.
Now, what made you want to talk about this movie in particular?
Well, it's not just an action gang, street gang movie. I think it has lots of New York flavor. Those gangs getting trouble and then, going through 5 boroughs, using the subway and try to go home, and then Coney Island, cross all over New York. That's very New York things to do, subway thing. And then all different area, and then different gang. It's very culturally, music, location, geography. I feel like everything about the New York and this movie. So that's why I like it. And then plus, the Walter Hill wrote, directed, and then I just love this movie. It's not Academy movie or anything, but it's really feels like true 100% New York movie.
I agree with you there, man. When the first time I saw this movie, I was a little older. I hadn't caught it when I was a little kid. I saw it probably in high school. I loved it so much. I watched it multiple times that year, over and over. And I just couldn't believe what a great, exciting film it was. And then when I found out that it was Walter Hill who had co-written Alien, directed 48 Hours, and did so many classic movies, this I thought was sort of, to me, like a lost thing. Because when I was a kid, I would have loved this movie too. But I'm sort of glad that I got to see it as an older person because I felt more of the nuance and the things that I would have missed the first time around.
Now, have you seen the director's version?
No, I didn't know there's like a director's cut.
Yeah, there's a director's cut, and then this is based on the book, novel, the Yurik wrote it. It's a kind of Greek story. So the director's version is before each scene, there is a cartoon and Greek soldier, just a drone, and then so basically the Greek soldier are running from the enemy. Just like where marathon came from in Greece, somebody who won the victories and messenger running 26 miles. That's 40. That somewhere from some city to marathon. That's why it's called the marathon. It came from Greek actual event.
Yeah, I knew that story. That's cool. And but so you're saying the Warriors is based on Greek tales and mythology?
Yeah. So it's that's why every scene, the director's version is a Greek soldier cartoon is in the top of the scene. So it's like a Greek story. That's why they're running. It's just like a Greek word, they're running.
Wow, I didn't know that. That's kind of cool. I would like to see the director's version, although sometimes I'm not a fan of the director's version. Like, for instance, The Outsiders that Francis Ford Coppola redid a few years ago is absolutely trash. He ruined his own movie.
Maybe, I don't know. You may like it or you may not like it, but still, the director's version is more Greek mythology in there more. Especially, each scene has the Greek soldiers drawing.
Interesting. When do you know when Walter Hill added that stuff? Was it back then that they just cut out, or was it something he added later?
Much later. The movie was like a 1979, 1980. But this director's cut didn't come out probably around the 2000.
Wow, so that long.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's cool. So I guess he waited until the dawn of DVD to add his original vision or something.
Right.
That's cool. I like it. I would watch it. I would just be wary though, because like I said, there's so many directors who come back and fuck with their work and ruin it. Like even Spielberg came out and said that he made a mistake when he added the walkie-talkies into the hands of the police in E.T. instead of having them have shotguns. I agree with that. That was such a stupid mistake.
Right. I see.
But maybe you think this Walter Hill one worked.
I like it more. Yeah, it's more like, and then plus, there was some argument like, well, this isn't real. Doesn't look like. I see this movie as more like a fantasy. It's a real thing, but it's fantasy. That's why the Furies, the costume or the makeup, it's not real because it's fantasy. So for me, it's okay because it is New York, but it's not the real New York. It's like a fantasy city, New York.
Of course. I mean, New York, even in the 70s, when it was at a crazy time, they didn't have people running around in baseball costumes with their faces painted and beating the shit out of each other. No, I mean, there was gangs and stuff, but it wasn't the way it's depicted in the Warriors. The Warriors are a cartoon.
That's why this cartoon, before every scene, work because it's a cartoonish. I mean, like you can't take seriously. In the internet, I saw this serious, huge argument about, oh, this isn't real. This isn't real. This isn't. Of course, it's not real. It's a fantasy movie. Like, don't be stupid. Don't take it seriously. It's a fantasy movie. So I like this way, because it's a fantasy. I mean, the makeup is fine, costume is fine, but it's still New York, so that's fine. Still real subway, that's fine, but it's still fantasy. So I like that combination. That's why I don't mind, hey, nobody wears the makeup. That's fine because it's fantasy, yeah. And then this all girls gangs and all roller skate. I mean, it's all kind of stuff in those fashion because it's New York. Yeah.
I love it. And yeah, it's one of those classic gritty New York movies that shows the whole city as it was at those times. I love those kind of movies, and maybe we'll talk about a few other New York movies that we love later on. But yeah, the Warriors also, one of the things I love so much is the acting. They take this crazy element of the insane whatever gang war or whatever they're going through, but everybody's very natural in the movie. They don't overplay it in terms of turning it into a cartoon. They play the emotions in a real way, especially the lead actors. Like the Warriors themselves are all very good.
But remember that when Chief of the Warriors, Crayon, when he was killed, when he fights it, it's kind of over action and then slow motion, no?
Well, the action is definitely heightened and over the top and stuff like that. The chase scenes, the fight scenes. But I just mean in terms of like people's reacting to this ridiculous world. It's except for the one guy, he plays it up. I'm looking for the guy's name now. The guy who plays the bad guy.
James Rama?
No, he's one of the Warriors himself. No, David Patrick Kelly, dude.
Yes, David.
Where he's, the Warriors come out to play. That guy is amazing. He's been so good in so many movies. He's in Commando. He's in Twin Peaks. He's played so many fucking roles where he's like a nutty side characters. In fact, he's really helps a lot of movies be elevated. But I think in the Warriors, the real Warriors are sort of normal in their thing, but he's playing kabuki theater. He's like up at the top.
Yes, that's true. And then the other person, he's very nice.
Oh, you met him?
Yeah, the friend of mine was working the Broadway show, and I was visiting her. Then she introduced me to him, and then I talked to him on the backstage, and he's very, very nice in person.
That's awesome, man. He's one of those people who I'd love to meet and work with if possible, because he's even in like a movie called Dreamscape. I don't know if you remember that with Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
He's in that, and he's really good in that. He's been in so many movies, and he's one of those guys where you know his face, but then you forget his name just because he's,
Yeah.
What is his name again? I already forgot it. David Patrick Kelly.
Yeah. And then Commando, the Schwarzenegger, I kill you first. I kill you last. Then he killed him first. And then he goes, well, you said you kill me last. And then Schwarzenegger says, I lied, and drop him from the cliff.
That's one of the most classic fucking things ever. And I'm glad he was a part of it. Yeah, he's so good. And then you mentioned the music, man. That theme song at the end of the movie by Joe Joe Walsh from the Eagles and stuff, and the James Gang in the city. What a good closing song.
Yes. And then that the radio DJ in between her talk, it's kind of narrating what's going on the street, and I mean, I just love everything. It's like a so New York.
That's a really smart thing to do that they did there, where she sort of is on the radio and telling you where you're at in the story, but she's also giving the information to the other gangs to tell you where the warriors are on their path home.
Right.
I love that they're also based in Coney Island. It's such an interesting choice. Like, why? I just love that the Warriors are like, their territory is Coney Island.
Yeah.
That's so funny. I mean, I guess in their spare time, they like to ride the Cyclone.
Yeah, that's right. Cyclone, roller coaster. Yeah.
There's a couple of really brutal fights, though. The one fight I remember the first time I saw it was when they're in the bathroom, and the bathroom stall, just like all the sound design in that scene is like just like huge noises. It's great.
The roller skate guys, right?
Yeah, and it's just like the sound design and the this and that, and then there's a beautiful scene I always remember where the main guy and the main girl get on the subway after they go through all this battle, and they're almost home to Coney Island, and they're sitting there, and across the way the disco kids come in who don't have a care in the world. They had a great night, and they all just sort of stare at each other in silence. Remember that scene?
Kind of reminds me of same scene from Saturday Night Fever when John Travolta and then that girl came in the subway. John Travolta was wearing white suit, and then this passenger has a white suit, and then the girlfriend. So it always reminds me, this is the same scene like a Saturday Night Fever.
Maybe they were influenced by that, because it's like, disco was a big thing at the time, but obviously the Warriors probably weren't into disco too much. They were probably more into the rock and roll or harder side of punk, maybe. But yeah, maybe they were influenced by that Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah, because remember there's a disco movie called the Roller Boogie?
Oh, yeah.
Then, these gangs had the roller skate, and then it's kind of the New York culture from every movies, I think.
Yeah, I really, actually, my cousin David said he had never seen The Warriors, and he had never seen Scarface. So we chose Scarface first to show him, and he loved Scarface so much he couldn't believe how much he loved it and that he hadn't watched it. And now we got to introduce him to The Warriors. I think that's the next movie we're going to show him. I think he's going to love The Warriors just as much as Scarface.
Oh.
When did you first see The Warriors? Did you go to the theater for it?
1979. I was a kid.
So you went to the theater where? In New York? You were here?
Tokyo.
Oh, so you were still in Tokyo at the time?
Yeah. The fascinating when you need this New York thing. oh, I have to go New York. I have to go New York. Then I went to Los Angeles, but later I came to New York. So yeah.
Wow, that's cool. And then did you ever see the movie Streets of Fire?
Oh yeah, that's my thing. Streets of Fire. That's another. It's a Walter Hill again. So, and the music is great, like a right cooler. Right. I mean, it's a Walter Hill movie. It's always that city is also fantasy, like unknown. We don't know where the city is, but it's kind of, I don't know, New York or Chicago or this under the train thing and diner, motorcycle. I mean, everything is just fascinating. Location and story and the costume and those, what was that, like a raincoat?
Yeah.
Fight is like a pig. It's not even sword. It's just a pig fight, right? I mean,
Yeah, supposedly Streets of Fire had a big impact in Japan to later on influence a lot of anime and things like that. Like, in Japanese movies where you have the street gangs and stuff like that. A lot of Streets of Fire influenced that aesthetic in Japan.
yeah. And then that time Japan has those motorcycle gang. That like hundreds of motorcycle street gangs. 100 miles and driving in the middle of the Tokyo, like at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Wow, that's nuts. So that really is like some of those anime show, like Akira. So that was real. They were really blowing through the Tokyo like that on those motorcycles.
And then, unfortunately, I think this is supposed to be a 3-movie trilogy, but since movie didn't do well, the Walter Hill didn't make a 2 more, but there was supposed to be 3.
Yeah, unfortunately, Streets of Fire didn't do too well, but it's still a cult classic. I mean, people have rediscovered it over the years. I always liked that movie. I saw that before The Warriors. I saw that when I was a little kid, and I really liked it. But I think that The Warriors is a better film.
Yes, Warriors is a better film, yeah.
And there's just so much to unpack in The Warriors that now that you said that it's based on a Greek tragedy or a Greek myths or whatever, because now you could read into it and maybe there's more metaphors in there than I originally knew.
Yeah. So, and then what I was going to say, uh, the Walter Hill, he wrote Getaway for Sam Peckinpah.
Oh, the wait a second, the Steve McQueen movie?
Yeah.
He wrote that? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why that the Walter Hill, before he became a director, he was a good writer, especially action films. So, I mean, that's why he's a good writer before.
Yeah, Walter Hill, but he's also done so many good movies like The Driver, The Mechanic, all these beautiful Hard Times.
Oh, yeah, that's good too. Yeah.
I just recently watched Hard Times for the first time, and I was like, shit, man, this fucking Charles Bronson, forget Death Wish, this is his best movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's so manly, right? I mean,
manly, and then he does his duty. He's got to do what he's got to do. He's also like the biggest badass. But then I like that in Hard Times they leave the ending sort of ambiguous, so to speak. It's not the ending that you expect to be coming. It sort of leaves it open-ended for you to determine what happens to these characters, and I always sort of love that. But obviously, like you said, Walter Hill's such a great writer, he's able to pull it off without it being a disappointment.
Right. And then have you seen Southern Comfort?
Southern Comfort, yeah, I love that movie too. Holy shit, that movie is another one that I saw much later, and I think that movie may be just as intense as Deliverance.
Yeah, I mean, and then those the military guys, the training, and then Well, those French immigrant people in New Orleans area. I mean,
Yeah, like the Creole mountain men in the back bayous or whatever it might be. Yeah.
some those culture different conflict, and it's just his story is always not just action. It's always something a lot deeper. Something we don't talk about it, but it's always their problem kind of thing.
Yeah, he puts in a lot of themes, a lot of stuff that you wouldn't expect. He also did a lot of other things. Like he produced a shitload of stuff. Like he produced Tales from the Crypt, the series. He did a lot of fucking. Wait, what else did he direct though? Right here. Let's see. I guess he directed some episodes of Deadwood, that show on HBO. Red Heat with Schwarzenegger and Jim Belushi. That movie's good. I forgot how good that movie is.
Yeah, that's true. And then of course he produced all alien movies, right? I mean,
that's right. Yeah. Here's a movie I wouldn't expect him to have directed this. Do you remember the movie Brewster's Millions with Richard Pryor?
Oh, it's comedy, right? I mean,
it's just a straight up comedy. It's a Richard Pryor comedy from 1985. I can't believe he directed that. That's crazy.
There was what's Ralph Macchio movie, some kind of music movie. I forgot the title.
Oh, wait a second. Crossroads?
Yeah.
Holy shit, he directed Crossroads?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I remember that movie as a kid. I couldn't believe this movie. So it's like Ralph Macchio plays a blues guitarist who gets some sort of a mentor or whatever. It's almost like the Karate Kid, but with blues guitar. And then the devil tempts him to make a deal with the devil. And then at the end, he plays a battle against Steve Vai, one of the greatest guitar players of all time. And of course, Ralph Macchio somehow wins. I didn't know that was Walter Hill. I'm going to rewatch that now because it's Walter Hill.
He's so underrated. He made so many great movies, I think.
Here's one I've never seen. Maybe you saw it. It's called Extreme Prejudice.
Never seen it.
It looks like a Nick Nolte movie.
Oh.
And then Johnny Handsome. I've never seen that. That looks like a Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke, yeah. And then Michael Keaton.
Yeah. And then this movie was pretty good. It was an underrated 90s Bruce Willis movie called Last Man Standing.
That's a kind of Yojimbo movie.
Yeah, it's kind of like, probably the 30s or the 40s, and they all come to a town and they have guns and they're all wearing the fedoras and stuff. I remember I liked that movie. And then here's something, Trespass. Do you remember this movie called Trespass?
Oh, that Billy Bob Thornton and then Bill Paxton.
Ice-T. Yeah, that was a pretty good movie. I didn't know he did that. I thought that was just like a sort of like a straight-to-video action movie from the 90s, but Walter Hill did it.
And then there was Assignment? Michelle Rodriguez and Sigourney Weaver.
That one I haven't seen, but that looks, oh my God, that's from 2016.
Yeah.
Oh, was that good?
That good, but interesting because Michelle Rodriguez, but she was him before.
Oh, so it's like a body swap?
But it's physically, it's a revenge movie because the guy, when he was unconscious, the Sigourney Weaver sex change, the man became woman. So when he wakes up, suddenly he realized it. Holy shit, I'm a woman now.
Wait, is that why it's called The Assignment? Because it's sexual reassignment surgery?
That was I wouldn't say good movie, but an interesting movie to watch. So
that sounds pretty intriguing. The fact that in 2016, Walter Hill made a movie about somebody secretly turning a man into a woman. That's pretty interesting.
And then what was that? Bullet in the Head? That was a Walter Hill?
So that's weird. I was just looking at that. That's I thought that was like a direct-to-video Stallone movie when he wasn't doing too good.
Yeah, I didn't like that. But I was surprised, you know. I mean, if he did, it should be bigger movie, but it wasn't. There was no advertisement, nothing. Suddenly, you know, I saw video or cable or something. You know, I'd never seen that movie in the theater, so.
Neither did I. And that was when Stallone was like not doing too well in his career. I guess Walter Hill wasn't. I don't know, but I'd never seen it. But that is interesting. Then, yeah, you're right. The Getaway. What else? There's other stuff. I mean, I guess he did 48 Hours and the sequel as well, too. Wow, that's interesting.
He do Macintosh Man. Did he write Macintosh with Paul Newman?
That's here. So it says, yeah, the Macintosh Man is something he wrote. The Drowning Pool, the Paul Newman movie he wrote.
That's right. That something Harper, the Private Eye.
Yeah, that detective. I think they made a couple of movies with Paul Newman as that character. But yeah, this is crazy.
He was already a good writer before he became and then, of course, his first directing movie was Hard Times, which was Dynamite movie, yeah.
That is Dynamite. Wow, Yuki. So that's cool. I love that we've discovered now. We got to go back and watch some more Walter Hill movies because this guy might be the most underrated director of all time, man.
So, I mean, he should be, you know, I mean, we should talk about more. I mean, he's one of my favorite. I mean, of course, you know, Scorsese or Spielberg or, you know, he never been nominated Academy. I don't care. He doesn't need Academy or nomination. He's just some good action director. So I'm just happy to see his movie.
All right, Yuki, what about some other gritty New York movies? I got a list here of some that I really think these are great movies to watch if you want to know what it was like to have the late 60s up to the 80s original dirty New York.
Lord of Flatbush.
Lord of Flatbush. That's on this list right here. That's a really good movie with Stallone, Henry Winkler. That's a good movie.
Yeah, and then is that New York? There's a similar movie called Wanderers.
That one I've never seen, but it's on Amazon Prime, and it was recommended to me. And that's about some sort of like doo-wop band or something, right?
It's a little different, but it came out in the same year. But, you know, because Warriors more, you know, names than Wanderers, but the Wanderers, I don't think any big name in it. And then Ken Ward, he's doing a TV show, something. I forgot. But I mean, Wanderers, they don't have big names. So, but the Wanderers still pretty good street gang movie, I thought. But
Street Gang. I thought it was like a doo-wop group. No, you know what though? The old school gangs used to sing on the street corner.
Oh.
All right, this one has number one New York gritty movie is at Midnight Cowboy.
John Voight and Dustin Hoffman.
That is a gritty movie, but I love that. Yeah, you get to see the old school late 60s New York, and they're walking around, and I'm walking here, you know. That actually was a real thing. The fucking cab almost killed Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, and then this country, you know, country boy came from really countryside and tried to hook up with the hookers. I mean, that's like a really New York thing too, you know.
Hell yeah. I love Midnight Cowboy. Then of course the French Connection.
French Connection, that's near New York movie, yep.
I was reading not reading, I was listening to William Friedkin's audiobook, The Friedkin Connection. And the best chapter is about the French Connections, where he tells about how they got so many of the scenes without permits. improvised a lot of scenes on the street where people didn't know that they were acting and they would hide the cameras. But the most captivating thing is that, you know, obviously one of the greatest car chases of all time with the elevated train, all that. So Friedkin and his cinematographer concocted that whole thing because they needed a chase. But they didn't have, which in the movie you could tell what makes it even more exciting is that there's the POV from the car driving through the streets. They didn't have permission to do it, and they did it once. And the guy who was driving it was like some former police officer or whatever, and he was pretending that he was a real cop. He put a siren on the top and just drove through the streets so people would have to get out of the way. And he did it once, and it wasn't fast enough or action-packed enough, and Friedkin yelled at him and was like, you fucking are going to ruin this sequence and blah, blah, blah. And he basically dared the guy to do it as fast as he possibly could and get the footage he needed. And Friedkin, you know, in order to seem like he was on the team, he was in the actual car. So the guy was like, fuck you, I could do this as fast as... And he went like 110 miles an hour down the fucking road. And they got the final scene, the POV from the car.
Wow.
All without permits, man.
In a way, I like that car chase is a lot more than Bullet.
Oh, by far. No, I love the Bullet one, but that French Connection chase is one of the most innovative car chases in cinema history. In fact, it probably is the most innovative because it's just so many elements. You got the car, foot, train, you know, hostage, like everything happens in that scene.
Yeah. Real
people in danger, which probably isn't good nowadays, but back then, shit.
And then I heard that movie, in the movie history, the production had a walkie-talkie. That's what I heard.
The first time?
First production had the walkie-talkie in the production during filmmaking.
Holy shit, that's amazing. So that's also an innovation.
Yeah, but I heard it's not like a small walkie-talkie. They had like a big battery pack. You know, that big walkie-talkie.
The brick, the fucking huge brick. Did you see, speaking of car chases, did you see One Battle After Another?
I haven't seen that movie yet.
I loved it. In fact, it's now in my top 3 favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movies. But the thing that really got me was there is a fucking car chase in that movie that is one of the most unique car chases I've ever seen. I don't want to say what it's about, but honestly, while it was happening, I was like, Paul Thomas Anderson did it. He has a new, unique take on the car chase that hasn't really had anything innovative in many, many years.
Wow, then I have to see it. I mean, that's the next my list. And then I had that movie, it's like, what, almost 3 hours?
It did not feel like 3 hours at all. To be honest, I couldn't believe how short the movie felt because I went into it saying, oh, fuck, this is going to be a 3-hour movie. Jesus Christ, it's like another Magnolia. Because I really like Magnolia, but I do think it's a little long. But this movie did not feel like a 2-hour and 45-minute movie. It felt like a 2-hour movie straight up, just like there's a lot of action in it. There's a lot of funny shit in it. And it really I loved One Battle After Another.
All right. I will see it before I see you. Then we can
Sean Penn, man, he's back. Sean Penn is so fucking good in this movie. He's like a great villain. He's acting his balls off. DiCaprio, Benicio del Toro, the 2 lead women are great. It's fucking awesome. I loved it. You might not like it. I don't know. But I have a feeling you might like it because there's a lot of cinematic things that Paul Thomas Anderson's doing. And it's not the way, like, okay, The Master, Inherent Vice. To me, those movies are good, but there's something inaccessible about them. There's something where Paul Thomas Anderson seemed to be saying, I'm smarter than the audience. In One Battle After Another, I think he finally said, I'm going to give the audience what they want while still doing things that I want. And I think it's his like most crowd-pleasing movie.
Okay, well, he's not my favorite director, so that's why you may be right. I may not like it, but I still like to see it. So
Yeah, I put it right alongside There Will Be Blood and Boogie Nights. I think it's equal to those movies, to be honest. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, the car chase especially, I was like, holy fuck, dude, this is like the best car chase in 30 years. All right, so another, of course,
Naked City, the old classic film noir.
is that John Huston?
No, I
Oh
think.
no, I'm thinking Asphalt Jungle is John Huston. Naked City is the one that became the TV show. I forgot who directed that one.
Jeff, no, what's his name?
It's a great noir. I remember watching. I went on a fucking noir kick one year. Oh, this is saying the anthology series. No, I want the movie. God damn it. Well, whatever. We'll just recommend it. And this, what is it? How does it go? There's a million stories in the Naked City or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like all the black and the white, and then all the natural light. Like it's like almost a docudrama, and then it's all natural light. I can't remember. It's like
Jules Dassin, and it's 1948.
Yeah, so it's a long time ago. Maybe I don't know when I saw it, but it's a good film noir, and then all the New York locations. So,
oh yeah, that's one of the first movies that actually shot on location in New York City without a lot of studio, fakery.
So that's a basic, before French Connection. That was a Naked City, yeah.
I love the Naked City. I forgot about that movie, actually. I don't know why I got it mixed up with the Asphalt Jungle, but they're pretty similar in, gritty city movies. Of course you got, yeah, that one's John, what the fuck is his name? Yeah, John Huston. That's John Huston. Do you remember, this movie is a really cool New York grit, The Panic in Needle Park.
Oh, Al Pacino, yeah. Is that who directed? Friedkin?
This says Jerry Schatzberg.
The guy, Midnight Cowboy? No. Huh?
Wait, what? He filmed the Midnight Cowboy?
Who?
John Schlesinger is the Midnight Cowboy director.
So Jerry Schatzberg, Panic in Needle Park. Okay.
Yeah, that's such a cool underground, because that was Al Pacino's first starring role.
That's a New York culture too. I mean, back then, it's a drug thing, and then that's such a long time ago. I really don't remember clearly, but
it's cool. They're like heroin addicts, and they're always looking for their next fix and all that sort of stuff. And then, of course, Dog Day Afternoon is another great.
By the way, it's coming on Broadway next spring as a stage.
Dog Day Afternoon?
Yep. That would be cool, I think.
It could work. I mean, obviously, it's in one location, maybe a couple of small locations.
Yeah.
Wow, Dog Day Afternoon on Broadway. All right, I get it.
But that's New York too. That's based on true story, right?
Yes, that is based on a true story.
And then another New York flavors, Cruising.
Cruising for sure. That's Friedkin was like, oh, you think I made a New York movie with French Connection? I'm gonna make the next New York movie for the '80s in Cruising.
That's a real thing too, right? I mean, it's gay world.
Yeah, I think it was based on an article that he then expanded in a fictional way. But
right.
Cruising is great. The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, of course.
That original one is better. I mean, two remake kind of forget it.
I don't like the remakes. I like the Walter Matthau one.
That's the real thing. And then, I mean, it's just amazing, in the subway, and then, the control room, and then two different things are going the same time. And then they portrayed Walter Matthau character as a racist.
Oh yeah.
You know, when he's talking about Japanese subway people, they call it yellow monkey. He called them yellow.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, all the cops back then were probably racist.
And then when he was talking to police chief, he was inside, he was outside. When Walter Matthau saw him in the street first time, he was black. So he reacted, holy shit, this guy is black. Because when he was talking over the radio, he didn't know the police guy was black. So really, this movie showed Walter Matthau character as a racist.
Oh yeah, it's real, it's gritty, it's dirty.
Yeah, but I thought that was, I'm not saying it's okay, but it's part of the, you know, the culture thing and then what's going on back then in New York City. So I thought that was, I'm not saying nice, but it's just a part of New York culture. That's one way to showing it.
Right, real, it's real.
Yeah.
After that, they have, here's something that I think is related to the French Connection, of course, is the 7-Ups. You remember the 7-Ups?
Oh, yes, Roy Scheider. Yeah, that's another cop movie. Yeah.
Another cop movie and based in New York, but great car chase in that film.
Right. I think same people did it, right?
Yeah, a lot of the same crew, same producers, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, awesome. Maniac is one of my favorite gritty New York movies, starring Joe Spinell, with directed by William Lustig, and you have Tom Savini doing the special effects.
William Lustig.
What's wrong with William Lustig?
I mean, you know, he makes lots of good movie, right? I mean, not a good B movie, C movie. Like, did he make a Maniac Cop?
Yeah, Maniac Cop. He made Vigilante. He made a lot of gritty New York movies, which obviously Maniac Cop and Vigilante are both New York films.
Yeah.
But why did you start laughing at William Lustig?
I didn't work with directing, but a bunch of the art department from his movie, you know, became my group. So I hear lots of story like he directed a movie without leaving Video Village.
Oh, I see. Well, hey, you know, different people have different styles, but with Maniac, he captured the city in a beautiful way, I think. And here's one more that I think is a New York movie. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I remember as a kid, and you might remember when the Statue of Liberty was being renovated and it was covered in all the scaffolding. Do you remember that?
Which movie? I don't remember.
Well, no, it was a real life occurrence when the Statue of Liberty was covered in the scaffolding because they were renovating it and cleaning it and restoring it. Do you remember when that was happening?
I know what's happening, but I don't remember.
Okay, well, when I was a kid, that was happening. The movie is called Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins.
Oh, Remo Williams, yes.
So I don't know if the whole movie takes place in Manhattan. It might. I haven't seen it since I'm a little kid, but I remember the big climax of that movie takes place. It's an action scene on the scaffolding of the Statue of Liberty, and they got permission to shoot while the Statue of Liberty was being renovated. So it's this cool ass scene where they're fighting on the scaffold and jumping down and all this stuff in a real time when it was being renovated.
Oh, you know, Asian community got mad at that movie because Joel Grey played the Asian guy.
Oh, so wait, so because I remember he had an Asian like mentor who was teaching him, and I remember specifically he was only allowed to eat white rice. But so you're saying that mentor was a yellow face?
Yeah, that's Joel Grey. the guy from the cabaret, the MC.
Holy shit! I gotta go back and see. I didn't realize that was the case.
White guy, yeah, Jennifer Grey's father. So Asian community got mad, like, well, why white actor taking a job from Asian actor?
I agree. Like, why? I mean, there was Asians in the 80s. They couldn't hire an Asian guy. I mean, they got Mr. Miyagi, right? Like,
You know, Pat Morita or Marco, or they could hire. Oh, why not the Jackie Chan, you know? But the Shinanju, stupid martial arts called the Shinanju, and that was Joel Grey. So the movie was really criticized by the Asian community.
holy shit! I never knew that, Yuki. That's amazing. Because the Remo Williams, I guess, was a famous or popular series of books. Yeah.
And then they're supposed to be making more than one, but I don't know, in front of the movie theater, Asian community, Asian group, picketing, don't see this movie, don't see this movie, white people taking a job from us.
Holy shit! I never knew there was a big controversy about it. Wow, I'm gonna go back and watch it now to just see what that looks like, because that's nuts. Because I do remember in my head the scene where he's only allowed to eat white rice, and then the big climax scene on the Statue of Liberty. Here's a small story, and then we could get going. Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins. This movie is funny to me because I might have told you this story, but I might have skimmed over this part. Is when I went to see Freddy versus Jason in the movie theaters when I lived in LA in 2003, I think, when it first came out. I went to the ArcLight Cinemas in the big Cinerama Dome, and I was sitting in the front row. And me and my friend sitting in the front row, it was 1 a.m. We went to see the movie. And so we're sitting there, and a guy behind us, I hear him say this exact sentence. He goes, Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins, but it never continued. And I'm like, who the fuck is that? What is he talking about? And it turns out it was Quentin Tarantino. Because an Asian guy, like a Japanese guy who couldn't speak good English or couldn't speak English well, sat next to me and my friend, and he was like looking around. He was by himself, and he looked behind us, and he saw Tarantino, and he goes, you, I know you. And he starts screaming at Tarantino, and Tarantino's like, he's like, relax, dude, I'll talk to you, but don't tell everybody I'm here. Just like sit down. And then they started talking, and then me and my friend kind of just were like, this is too good not to participate in. So we kind of like sat there watching it unfold. But that's how it all started. Remo Williams, The Adventure Began, but it never continued. That was Tarantino, dude. So any more final thoughts on the Warriors or New York City movies, Yuki?
Well, Saturday Night Fever, you have to talk about.
We left off Saturday Night Fever. That is true. Absolutely, man. And you know who was the location or manager on that? Lloyd Kaufman.
Lloyd
worked on Saturday Night Fever because the original director for Saturday Night Fever was John Avildsen, the guy who did Rocky and all that stuff. He had hired Lloyd because Lloyd was responsible for a lot of the locations in Rocky. So they hired him to be the same thing on Saturday Night Fever. So I think he was responsible for helping get permission to shoot at the Verrazano Bridge and all that sort of, found the club. So he is responsible for a lot of the iconic things in that movie.
Wow. You know what I like that movie, the opening sequence when he's walking with the paint can, you know, it's a Brooklyn street, and then I just love that scene. He stopped by, get the piece of pizza.
Two, he stacks the pizza, 2 slices on top of each other. He double stacks it.
New York way to hold the pizza, right? And then stop in front of the girls, and it's just so New York.
And the music is going, and he's walking down the street strutting his stuff. Yeah, that's a great New York scene, man. And the whole movie's got a lot of New York stuff in it. I mean, the fact that they shot on the Verrazano Bridge is crazy.
Yeah.
Good call. Yeah, that's a really, really good. I'm sure there's so many other New York City movies we're missing, but that's a classic one for sure.
Nighthawks.
Oh yeah, how could we forget that? What a great scene when they're the Randall's Island tram or whatever it's called. What is that thing?
The cable car, the Roosevelt Island. I mean.
Yeah, that's another classic New York movie. A lot of subway stuff in that movie.
And that movie is like the very, very beginning, Stallone's cop, he's undercover and wearing the dress, pretending he is she. And then that beginning relate to the ending because when the Rutger Hauer tried to kill Sylvester Stallone's ex-wife, go there, and that woman was Stallone.
Yeah, that's a great reveal where it's like turns around, it's Stallone with a mustache, with a beard.
So I thought that was clever because, he did that very beginning, foreshadowing the ending. So I thought that was very clever way to kind of do the movie. Beginning and then ending related. Both he played the woman and then finally he gets the guy.
I love that so much. It's that's another great Billy D. Williams. What a cool movie, Nighthawks. All right, Yuki. Well, that was New York, but also the Warriors. That's a great suggestion because now I want to go back and watch a lot of these films, especially the Warriors again. I want to check this out.
Yes.
The director's cut you suggested.
Yes, I suggest the director's cut. See what you think. Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, we want to thank everybody for joining us. Suggest any more topics you might have for Yuki and me. Please, thank you again for subscribing and supporting, and so much coming up with Yuki and I. We got the Kings of Horror we're collaborating with. We got Up All Night. We got each other. We got many things we can't speak about, but we're doing as much as we can to continue being ourselves and to be happy.
Yes. So
we'll see you next time at the
John and the Yuki Patreon buffet.
That's right. And listen to Joe Walsh's In the City in honor of the Warriors.
Oh, yes.
Yuki and John, Patreon buffet.